burials or cremation since 1975. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg. Visitation for Michael Thomas Hawkeye Horton will be Friday from 1 until 2 at Curtis and Son Funeral Home, North Chapel in Sylacauga. Funeral service at 2. I'll be officiating that service. Online condolences at curtisondsonfh.com. Burial in the Evergreen Cemetery. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, directing. There will be a James Ludwig Colvin, age 95, died Thursday. There will be a visitation tomorrow from 12:30 to 1:30 at Earth Street Funeral Home in Talladega, and followed by a graveside service in Lincoln Cemetery at 2 o'clock. Online condolences at earthstreetfuneralhome.com. Earth Street Funeral Home, Talladega, directing. Danielle Morgan, age 37, of Sylacauga, died Friday, December 24th. Funeral service for Danielle will be Saturday at 2 o'clock from Curtis and Son North. I'll be officiating that service along with Dr. Herman E. Calhoun, Ph.D. Online condolences at curtisondsonfh.com. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, directing. Celebration of life for Ms. Willie Ann Jones, age 90, will be Saturday at 11 o'clock at Bethel Missionary Baptist Church with the Reverend Clint Walker, the pastor, and Minister James Chapman will deliver the eulogy. Interment in the church cemetery. Mrs. Jones will lie in state at the church 1 hour prior to the service. Attendance will be limited to family only, and everyone must wear a mask. Visitation is Friday 1 until 7 at the funeral home. And Terry's Metropolitan Mortuary in Talladega in charge of the arrangements. Homegoing celebration remembering the life of Mr. Robert Francis Jeek Taylor, age 53, of Talladega, is Friday at 1 o'clock from New Maryland Church Cemetery with the Reverend Brian Miller officiating. Public viewing is today 1 until 7 at the funeral home. And S.M. Goodson Funeral Home and Crematory, Talladega, in charge of the arrangements. Thelma M Evans, age 97, died Monday. Memorial service on Friday, January the 14th at 10 a.m., followed by interment at Evergreen Memorial Cemetery in Sylacauga. Family and friends are gathering for lunch at Grimes Chapel Baptist Church. Public viewing on Thursday, January 13th, 5 till 8 at Radley Smith Funeral Home. Radley Smith Funeral Home in Sylacauga, directing. Funeral service for Micaiah Wheeler will be January the 8th at noon from Liberty Christian Church in Harpersville. Burial in the Evergreen Memorial Cemetery in Sylacauga. Visitation is Friday 2 till 7 at the funeral home. Community Funeral Home, Sylacauga, directing. And Betty Twyman, age 82, died at her residence on January the 5th. Community Funeral Home in Sylacauga in charge of the arrangements. And Mr. David Baird died on the 4th day of January in Talladega. And graveside service will be Sunday afternoon at Winterboro Baptist Church Cemetery. I'll be officiating that service. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, in charge of the arrangements. Funeral service for Eileen Wood Johnson, age 96, is today at 12 o'clock from Trinity Baptist Church with Reverend Matt Hillier and the Reverend John Woodall officiating. Burial in the Green Hill Cemetery. Visitation today, 11 till noon at the church. Radley Smith Funeral Home directing. Memorial service for John Willie Osborne Jr., age 67, will be held at a later date. Mr. Osborne died January 3rd. Radley Smith Funeral Home directing. Funeral service for Kimberly Maxine Stone Hayes, age 50, is Saturday at 11 from Radley Smith Chapel with Brother Lester Hayes along with Brother Lester Hayes Jr. officiating. Burial in the Harpersville Cemetery. Mrs. Hayes died January 3rd at Coosa Valley Medical Center. Visitation Saturday 9:30 until 11 at the funeral home. In lieu of flowers, contributions can be sent to Operation Smile, Radney Smith Funeral Home directing. Funeral service for Wendell Philip Rayfield, aged 86 of Wagufka, will be Saturday at 11:30 from Curtis and Son North, where the Reverend Keith Owens will be officiating. Burial in the Evergreen Cemetery. Visitation at 10 a.m. prior to the service. Mr. Rayfield died Tuesday, January the 4th at his residence, Curtis and Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, in charge of the arrangements. That is a look at obituaries this morning, brought to you by Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg.